explaining that the faggoter's job of collecting firewood was one of the worst Christmas jobs ever. Another was the art of doll making.
What's worse is that the horse hair they used to stuff the bodies carried tuberculosis.
Oh, great! TB Barbie. We have TB Barbie here, look. Right, let's just listen to what she says. Hold on. Yeah, they've released a whole range. We've got leprosy Barbie. We got a swine flu Barbie. And we also have hungover Barbie. Let's see what she says.
Oh, the state of me head. I'd love a fry.
We're joking, of course. I mean, these TB dolls were from the Middle Ages. Kind of, all modern dolls are safe. Or are they? We sent our reporter Dermot Whelan to find out.
Tonight, we investigate the real dangers lurking in Santa's sack and ask the question, why is there anthrax in my Action Man? It's in toy shops like these that the controversial Run hamster first reared its furry little head. Apparently, according to reports, if the hamster is licked repeatedly for 72 hours, it could make you nauseous, or even worse, you could die of AIDS. Kitty's favourite Mr. Waggles. More like Mr. Biopsy. His fur causes cancer. Super fun guitar expert. The buttons are actually made of E. coli. The only thing you'll be playing on this on Christmas morning is Stairway to Heaven. But are the public aware of the dangers? We hit the streets of the capital to find out. Would it shock you if I told you that the nose is made of dead orphans?
It wouldn't, did. Dead orphans? Human orphans?
Did you know that Babyborn was made out of real babies?
No, I wasn't aware of that. Probably wouldn't have played with it then.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
I mean, like children put them in their mouths, don't even think about it.
Exactly, and the yellow paint is made out of tramp's piss.
Okay.
It's actually made of used razor blades.
Oh my god, that's dreadful.
Despite changes to EU manufacturing laws, some dangerous toys are still slipping through the net. And if parents aren't vigilant, your child could end up in a hospital like this. Join me next week when I'll be asking the question, people, why don't they all just off?
Just time now for a very quick audience competition. This is our little competition. In the spirit of Christmas, we want to give people the chance to win a prize. So I hope you're all ready. I want you to give me the woman's first name.
Is it Kerry?
No. Right. Michael ruined that one. Right. So now here's another one. Tell us the surname of this senator who ran for president in 2004. Senator John.
Is it Kerry?
Stephen. Good night.
land of complex questions and simple people. Over this intriguing little place, we cast the savage eye. Up until the 6th century, Ireland was a pagan country, but within a generation, Christianity had taken hold with a ferocity unseen in the rest of Europe.
Why Christianity is so big? Because people need to feel a part of something.
People are searching and trying to find out, why are we here on planet Earth?
I think without prayer we're lost.
What made the Irish so religious, considering they weren't in the slightest bit religious before, except for pagan rituals, which I suppose was religious?
St. Patrick came, and of course he Christianised the country, and we were all very proud of him.
Ireland before St. Patrick was carefree, and also warlike. Christianity freed Ireland from its druidical beliefs and fears of shape-shifting monsters. But what else made Christianity more attractive than other religions?
In my religion, you can beat your wife.
In my religion, you can burn your wife.
In my religion, you can't beat or burn your wife. But if you do, you can get forgiven.
But we have better music.
These guys came along with a great story, and told a great story, and people bought into it.
Really and truly, St. Patrick has a lot to answer for.
Where'd you put the snakes? I banished them. They were pests.
Place is overrun with mice since they're gone. Have you ever heard of natural selection?
I knocked 3 shades of shite out of you.
And I'll come back for the other 4.
Put on such a spectacular show as the Catholic Church. This, of course, proved attractive to young, unattached men of a showbiz bent.
But I suppose the finery of it all too would have played a big part in it. Because I suppose if you go back centuries, men did actually dress up, probably even more outrageous than women did.
Thousands of priests have tried out for this competition, and I have narrowed it down to these 3 men. Father Aidan O'Keefe from Armagh. Father Damien Dwyer from Cloyne. And Father Ricky Cook from Dublin. These 3 priests that stand before me represent the best that Ireland has to offer.
I'm so scared, but I have a true vocation. I'm just going to be myself.
I've had such a wonderful time. If I don't win, I'll be crushed.
I'm going all the way to Rome. I want people to kneel before me and worship me.
And now, the panel of experts will announce the winner of Ireland's next top bishop.
Yeah, it was very close, but we have reached a decision. For his grace and poise at the Novena in Knock, the winner of Ireland's next top bishop is Father Damien Dwyer.
I thought I had it in the pastoral rounds, but there's confirmation photographs. I just couldn't compete with them. They're in a league of their own.
And the tears come streaming down your face.
probably no more virulently anti-gay institution than the Catholic Church. I mean, the current Pope has described it as homosexuality is objectively disordered with a tendency to evil. Yet their own ranks are crowded with, and this will not be disputed, with a preponderance or a disproportionate number of gay people, of gay men.
Look, homosexuality, it's a sensitive issue, it's a delicate issue, it's a fragile issue.
Promising never to sleep with a woman, living alone with another man, wearing a dress every Sunday, surrounded by flowers. You're really headed into Pet Shop Boy territory there.
No history of the Catholic Church in Ireland would be complete without Kildare-born Paul Cullen, best known for crafting the formula of infallibility for his good friend Pope Pius IX.
Monsignor Cullen, I see you're mixing extreme arrogance with delusion. Are you sure that's wise?
Father Cook, you've always been a spineless little man. This infallibility potion will make the Catholic Church more powerful than that love-mongering Nazarene ever dreamt of.
Holy Father, drink this and you will become infallible.
You mean I can't burn?
Not inflammable, Holy Father. Infallible. Everything you say from now on will be true. Drink, Holiness. Try it.
You are a horse. Stop! Sleep! You are a baby bird. I am invisible.
Where is he going?
Holy Father, where are you? Where are you?
It's a miracle! It's a miracle!
I will never forget El Papa's visit to Ireland back in 1979. Of course, I was only then just a wisp of a lad, hitchhiking as I was from Moat, and I got to lift with a lovely ice cream van driven by my future housebound It. And it remembers with fondness the beautiful jingles that was played on his van, if I may. Stop it. And of course, being the great entrepreneur, he created ice creams especially for the occasion in the Phoenix Park. Great ice creams like the Toffee Tabernacle, and of course my favourite, the Little Frozen Boy on a Stick.
Being Irish meant you were a second-class citizen in your own country, dominated by the British Empire.
Dark days in downtrodden era. Look at these poor wretches frog-marched up towering Crackpatrick, many in their bare feet. Overrun by beastly black shirts, Paddy offers little resistance, and after a visit to the top, frog-marched back down. Many not making it. Makes them long for the good old days of the so-called famine. Meanwhile, in London, capital of the free world, God enjoys an audience with his supreme leader, the King. They pray for the brave defence of Ulster, and afterwards God tells His Majesty the winner of next year's Cheltenham Gold Cup. Remember the order of our hierarchy. The King, God. The Prime Minister, Sir Jesus Christ. And finally, Mr. George Formby.
To the Irish, being Catholic meant you were part of an even bigger empire. Being Catholic meant not being Protestant.
What do you do if you see a Protestant jumping up and down in your front yard? You stop laughing and you reload.
See you in your next life.
What is the afterlife? Nobody has ever come back to tell us. It is that unknown land. We know very, very little about it.
Heaven is like lots of clouds.
Golden gates, blue skies.
And nice music and strawberries, Philadelphia cheese.
It's just really peaceful and tranquil.
If you're a little boy with spots and glasses on his face, if you're a girl who can't smile 'cause she's braces on her teeth, if you're the type of person who cries themselves to sleep, there's a place for you in heaven. If you're the type of person who people punch on the face, if you love being a member of the human race, there's a place for you in heaven. Oh heaven, oh heaven.
Heaven is clean, it's like, and hell's dirty.
Hell is on earth. It's only an example to keep you on the right path.
Well, you were giving these very graphic descriptions of hell, fire, and what happened to people in fire. It certainly had an impact, and a very real impact on the behaviour of people, which was its purpose.
Hell has now become part of everyday speech and has come to describe anything from the truly horrific to the slightly difficult.
What do you think of hell? It's a slow vibration of blank emptiness and a silent scream for all eternity. Sounds like a bit of crack.
French philosopher Blaise Pascal surmised that it was better to believe in God than not to believe in God, because you had nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Newsflash, and we have confirmation that this is the day of judgment. What? Reports are coming in of massive earthquakes around the world, as well as blinding beams of light surrounding much of the globe. And we're expecting the first images of the Messiah.
Yes, I was right! Brilliant! Did you see it? Did you see it?
I'm fucked, man. I'm fucked. I'm finished. I'm going straight to hell. I work in advertising.
Yeah, you wouldn't listen to me, would you?
Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Yeah, enjoy hell, you tube.
I would. What do you want to say? I can't cry. I'm in advertising.
And here he comes, flowing robes, a serene look upon his face.
Come on!
He walks gracefully, sporting his magnificent turban.
What?
The Prophet Muhammad strides purposefully across the Atlantic Ocean.
Do we have are any of our clients Muslims?
Did you hear the one about the fella who went to hell, right? And the devil says to him, don't be so nervous. It's not as bad as you think. And he looks at him and he says, do you like drinking? And the fella says, I do. And the devil says, sure, that's all we do on Monday is drink, like. And then the devil says, are you queer? And the fella says, no. And the devil says, well, Jesus, you're not going to like Tuesday, so.
think for most people it was a sense of ritual rather than a sense of understanding what the true spirit of Christianity was.
And it was just a place you had to be quiet and stand up and sit down and say prayers.
Jesus walked through the fields with the light upon him.
Fish.
Father, it is our duty and our salvation, always and everywhere, thanks.
It should be a jolly occasion. There should be a sense of fun about it all.
Well, if it was fun, everybody would be going to it, wouldn't they? You know what I mean?
In my town, we don't need rituals. Do you know why? Because men don't die. They just lean into the wind and turn into fucking trees. And women turn into crows to keep the trees company, like, you know, sitting in the branches. Mommy.
Most people probably don't know what it is that they mean when they say the word God.
He has kind of brown curly hair. Very tall.
We don't know what God looks like, but
He's a man, anyway.
I saw this movie and he had a beard.
I know there's no such thing as the end of space, whatever, but if you did end up getting there, that's where you find who you're looking for.
That's true, but it's ever expanding now, isn't it? It's ever expanding. It's a mental illness. They're believing in things that don't exist, you know. They're believing in the imaginary spaghetti monster, you know, or the tooth fairy.
A lot of it is, to me, making up these stories just to make us feel okay.
Once upon a time, children, there was a giant big hen flying through the universe. And then he accidentally inhaled space dust. And it made the hen sneeze. And his right eye popped out of his head. And for millions of years, the eye revolved round the sun. And we live on the eye that we call the planet Earth, waiting for the hen to return. Does the hen love you?
Yeah, I guess so.
What happened to the hen when it sneezed?
His eye popped out.
And where do we live?
On the eye.
It's such an utterly absurd story that the only way that you could believe it is if you're taught it before you reach the age of reason.
Cluck, cluck.
Every Irish mother wanted one of her sons to be a priest. It brought honour to the family, a connection to the Almighty, and got him out of the house.
The parish priest was on every single committee, from the musical society to the drama society, and this attracted people who may have thought they had vocations, but it would appear they were attracted by social status. The wrong sort of people joined in droves.
I remember my mother's generation, my mother saying that if she met the priest on the road or heard him coming on his horse, she would jump over the hedge to avoid meeting him. There was that horrific, almost, I would use that word, fear of the priest.
Morning, Mrs. Murphy.
Morning, Father.
Morning. Thank you for the scones, Mr. O'Toole.
You're welcome, Father.
That's very good. Who's that?
Patrick.
I'll see you in Mass, Patrick.
Thank you, Father.
If you have a visitor into your home, be they a priest, nun or ordinary lay person, if they bring some goodness in their heart into your home, that's what counts.
To me, God is love. So bringing God into your home, it's like bringing love into your home.
But what if you don't believe in God, Father?
If you don't believe in God, sure. And sure, I was talking to John, down the road the other day. Exact same thing. We were talking about free will. So it comes up in conversation all the time.
You mean you have a choice, Father?
Yeah, that's right. God offers you the choice to believe in him or... His tea's getting a bit wet now, huh?
It certainly did bring into the ranks of the church people who we now know should not have been there.
They became the brutalized and brutalizing people that they did become. And one has to raise severe questions, first of all, about the people in charge of them.
Get down and give me 10!
Hail Mary, full of grace.
If you ladies manage to survive the Christian Brothers boot camp, you will become weapons of the Almighty. On your marks, get set, kneel! Come on! Faster! This isn't a walk with your gay auntie. You, next, quickly! Get down on the ground and scream for your mammy! Punch the Protestant! Come on! That's right. Give up the pain to Christ! Throw it in the bucket! My grandmother could hit a Protestant harder than that. Why did you join the Christian Brother? To make children's lives a living hell, brother. Hallelujah! I'd like to introduce you to some of my friends. Here we have the Respecter. 2 seconds, that will rip the skin off a child. This one speaks for itself. You can almost hear the children's screams. My personal favorite, the Resurrector. A good hit with this and it'll take you 3 days to wake up. A fucking drill.
Christian Brothers taught me, and so most of them are pretty good. But one or two are really bastards.
I don't think the religious orders made them deviants. They were deviants before they went in.
The priests who rape children should be treated like any other criminal and put in jail.
Well, no, there's a lot of this rape and this the buggery and all that stuff. Now look, what about us?
I was in school, right? And I used to get beaten round and place. Sure, I loved it, like. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I used to be bored just to get a wallop, like. Any form of physical contact, There was this one priest. Jesus, he beat me so hard, right? Every time I coughed, I broke my leg. It was like this, look. One time he had an orgasm when I broke my leg. That went like this, look.
Because some bad things happen doesn't mean that all priests and all nuns are bad,
In a world where the church controls everything, and all the priests are bad, where single mothers live in fear, there is one man who is different. His name is Father Michael Maloney.
Father Michael Maloney is the good priest.
We're now entering a period where society has moved on. The world is now creating its own form of church.
Deep down, it's probably a lovely religion. But how could you buy into it now, you know?
I mean, let's be honest about all of this sexual abuse. I mean, it hasn't directly affected most of us. We can move on. It's in the past, you know.
And look, we owe a debt of gratitude to the Catholic Church for the work they've done in health and education. And look, sure, you know, I had a few bells from the Christian Brothers, but sure, look, it never did me any harm.
Does Ireland believe it was held back by the Church? And will a new Ireland emerge and dream a new Irish dream?
Did you hear about Father Finnegan, the priest from Knocknacoy, caught in the back of the vestry on top of an altar boy? All the people around him said it was a terrible sin, but the head of the church didn't agree and relocated him. They sent him to County Galway and Wexford by the sea, but everywhere he went he had a miner on his knee. They sent him to Antarctica, there were no children around. He tried to make love to a penguin, but his willy got stuck to the ground. Finnegan, Finnegan, you've sinned again. They were running out of places to send a horny priest. He'd been accused of buggery in Africa, France and Greece. Around the world, upon my word, they're tired of his face. So they strapped him to a rocket and sent him to outer space. If you look into the sky on a quiet, cloudless night, and you see a flying object and a blazing trail of light, it's not a hapless astronaut hurtling towards his doom. It's good old Father Finnegan and his new parish on the moon. Finnegan, Finnegan, you've sinned again.